The inter-party resistance against the new voters register says the Electoral Commission has no choice than to back down on its decision to compile that new voters register. This follows their third demonstration dubbed Wakbene, to wit, we won't agree, which saw hundreds of people pour onto the streets to partake in that protest. Top officials of the NDC, the PNC, the APC and others walked from Kaukudi through to the Jubilee House and then to the Electoral Commission offices. Komla Adom walked with them.
So we're currently almost around Elwak, where the demonstrators have been marching from Kaukudi. They're going to use Elwak, then they use the Land Commission area. As you can see, the MP for Pram Sam George is one of those who is on this particular floor. Let me just get a word from him. You have been very loud in your demand for the EC to back down on their exercise. Does it look like the EC will yield to this?
The EC has no option. It's not negotiable. The EC has no option than to listen to the demands of the people who put her there, the people who pay her salaries. The EC has no option. You see, the EC is making noise. She's throwing a tantrum. That's all she's doing. But when the chickens come home to roost, the EC will respond. She will listen to us.
It's a third demonstration. The one in the northern region, the one in the Ashanti region. If the EC was going to heed to your call, that would have been done by now, you will agree?
Don't worry. Until the 18th of April, the EC has not started. And so we are saying that it will not happen. Not in this country. Because the EC is not law unto herself. The Peace Council, the National, the Christian Charismatic Council, the Council of Churches, the Chief Imam's Office, the traditional rulers, National House of Chiefs, they must call out the EC. Because what the EC is doing is a perfect recipe for disaster in this country. And when disaster hits this country, it will affect every single one of them in their high offices. It's not just going to be the grassroots. Every one of them will pay. Because if the EC says that she's going to complete the compilation of the register on the 8th of November, less than a month to the conduct of the election, where do you hear this?
So Sam George there is MP for Pram, laying it all down. He said the EC has no option than to listen to the demands of the people and to back down on their plan or their decision to compile a new voters register. He says it's a recipe for disaster. So it's a very large crowd of people who have come out here to be part of this particular demonstration. They are marching in one voice and saying to the Electoral Commission that the time is not right for a new voters register to be compiled. We're inching ever closer to the seat of government, the Jubilee House, where the demonstrators are expected to petition the Flagstaff House on the compilation of a new voters register. Many eminent individuals, political party leaders, especially the NDC top party officials are here. As you can see, Chairman Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, General Secretary Johnson Esiedu-Nketia, and many others are here. Let me just get a quick word from Mr. Ofosu-Ampofo on this. Do you have the conviction that the third protest on this particular matter will yield positive results?
Well, that is what we are aiming at. We are aiming at drumming into the ears of the EC and its officials, and by extension, the President of the Republic of Ghana, that the peace of this country is paramount to us. And we have realized that the path that the EC is treading is a very dangerous path that can lead to chaos, confusion, and anarchy in this country. We are saying that the timing is not good. We are barely 9 months into an election, and you are now in the process of procurement. Before you get your items, you assemble them. When are you going to do a pilot of the system, the new system that you are going to use to ascertain its efficiency and efficacy? There is nothing wrong with the data, over 17 million data that has been captured. If you think that your biometric machines are weak, go and buy another one. If you think that you want to replace your data center, go and replace it. But don't bother Ghanaians to go and take the same biometric features, the names, the dates, and the faces of the very people whom you have already captured. We believe that we have a credible register. We believe that there is nothing wrong with the register. We believe our data is intact. The Electoral Commission should spare this country of the agony of tension in the political year, the fighting in the political year. You know that registration causes a lot of infighting and tension than election day itself. Let us all avoid this. We believe that the impunity must stop. We believe that she must listen to the voice of reason and save this country, because we believe that any attempt to throw this register away and do another one will have disastrous consequences in terms of security and tranquility and cohesiveness of our nation.
All right, you heard the chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Sawolofu Suampofo, speaking to us extensively about the need for the Electoral Commission to listen to them and back down on their decision to compile this new voters register. So let me now speak to Alhassan Suhuyini, is an MPO.
And you can see from the numbers recorded in Tamale, in the Ashanti region in Kumasi, and today, that well-meaning Ghanaians are simply sending a message to the Electoral Commission not to needlessly, raise the temperature of this country before we get into the election campaign of 2020. I think that it is only fair and safe that the Electoral Commission listens to reason and abandon this needless, wasteful, venture of compiling a new register before the 2020 election.
They have made a point that on technical grounds, there's a need for them to, replace obsolete equipment. For example, there are some of the equipment that have gone past their sell-by dates, etc. These are not basis enough for them to compile a new register, you think?
Exactly so. I mean, the technical arguments have been made, and in relation to, the machines that are required, I think all parties are reasonable to that request. But those obsolete machines, again, technically have been proven to show that they do not compromise the data in any way. And so that is why it is needless to have to compile a new data that will not only put burden on the political parties, but also on the average Ghanaian who already has his data with the Electoral Commission that can be transferred into whatever system that it wants to do.
You had the Alhassan Suhuyini. Let me just get a quick word from Kofi Adams, who is the former organizer of the party, who is also one of the leading members of this particular march. He addressed the people at the converging grounds. Thank you very much. When you address the people, I heard you say that it is needless at this point to compile a new register, also because it will come at a cost to the individuals who go and queue to be part of this process. Beyond that, what more?
Beyond that, what is more is that the register is very functional. And so you don't change the functional register. This register has performed every function a register is supposed to perform. One function of a register is to allow for limited registration. This register, since 2017, has allowed the Electoral Commission to conduct limited registration. This register have allowed for transfers of votes. It has been possible to transfer votes from one electoral or one polling station to another polling station. It has been possible to conduct a referendum effectively. It's been possible to conduct the district level elections with 99.4% verification success. So the register is good to go. Why change something that is good? Why change something that is not malfunctioning? So that's the reason why we don't have to change it, because the Electoral Commission itself have not been able to tell us that there's something wrong with the register. They have not been able to.
Are you confident that these protest marches and all the series of actions you are taking as the inter-party resistance against this new voters register will yield any result at all?
I am more than convinced that it has to. The Electoral Commission and the government should know that the money they are going to use to do this exercise I consider as useless. It's not their money. This water I'm holding, I bought it. I have paid a tax on it. That is the money they are going to use to waste for something that is already useful, that you don't have to spend another money in doing so. And we don't want our taxes to be collected and wasted for something that can already be used, that exists.
Everywhere is war. It's a war. That until they're no longer first class and second class citizens of any nation, until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance.
So the group has succeeded in presenting that petition to the Electoral Commission. Receiving the petition on behalf of the commission were the acting director of administration, Lawrence Sapon, and also an acting director, Alexander Ekubiapoku. Now, they have promised to forward the petition to the appropriate quarters for response.
Coming here peacefully to present this petition. We receive it on behalf of the Electoral Commission, and I want to assure you that immediately I leave here, this will be on the desk of the chairperson for their attention. I mean the Commission's attention. Be assured that the Commission is open to dialogue, is open to engagement. We hope, but at the end of the day, Ghana will be richer. with our electoral process.
We can listen to Bernard Mona, spokesperson for the Inter-Party Resistance Against the New Voters Register, as he presented the petition to the Electoral Commission officials.
The Inter-Party Resistance Against the New Voters Register, a group of political parties, civil society organizations and individuals who want to protect our elections, our electoral processes, our democracy, the peace and stability of our nation, have today taken a demonstration to the doorstep of the Electoral Commission that they should desist from going ahead with their intentions of embarking on a new register. All the reasons that the Electoral Commission has adduced so far, technical, administrative, and economic, doesn't add up and cannot justify the creation of a new voters register. Thumbprints once captured are forever useful, and therefore there is no need to jettison over 17 million thumbprints that have been captured. By the timetable of the Electoral Commission itself, the register will be finally ready on 8th November, meaning we have only 29 days to the elections. Obviously, this will run counter to many things that you have to do. One, the compilation of a special voters register to enable our security personnel, the media, and many other people who will have to cast their vote, who will have to cast their vote ahead of time. You know that you have 42 days to do so by law. You have not done so, and by the dates you have given, it cannot be. The other important thing is that when are you going to receive nominations? Because we will not accept a situation where nominations are taken based on an incompleted register. And therefore, it means that by your own timetable, you are running a very dangerous situation. We have not piloted the system. The current register that we have used it to elect two presidents, President John Mahama, President Nana Akufo-Addo. We have also used this to run about 3 district or local level elections, conducted several by-elections along the line. That means this voters register has been tried, tested, updated, and approved and accepted by the people of Ghana. The experiment you are going to embark on is not right. We cannot take our security, our democracy, and our stability for granted. We say enough is enough. Stop tormenting the people of Ghana with the news of you are going to do a new voters register. We hereby this afternoon have catalogued a number of issues that will tell you that if you don't have the technical know-how, amongst us and amongst Ghanaians, there are many people with the technology and capacity to be able to migrate your information from your obsolete equipment to any modern equipment that will still make them functionable. We will let you, if you want, to give you a proper technical representation, which is far, far superior than what your IT person, probably who does not understand what it is, has done for you. On this note, we want to thank you for coming out to receive our petition, and this is just the beginning. If you don't listen to us, we will be with you forever. The next time round, it will not be a one-day walk. It will be to sleep with the Electoral Commission here.
We can listen to ACP Kwesi Fori. He is the Director of Operations of the Accra Region Police. Now, he's been telling us about the conduct of the protesters during this particular march. He says the police did not require any form of violence or force to get the protesters to get in line.
As far as being professional, very democratic-minded, human rights inclined, and above all, to serve the people of Ghana in a better way.
In terms of the numbers, how many police officers were deployed for this?
Oh, we came in our hundreds. You know, we came in our hundreds, supported by other security services. And I can say that all that we have, we gave it out to the streets.
We saw that the route was changed.
Oh, based on the outcome of some discussions and position of the demonstrators, police allow certain things to go in the interest of peace and security. We had a very good relations, and surely goodness and mercy of the day concluded everything.